Hello, this is Darius Torana, and we are back. It does feel like just a couple days ago that I posted a thing on YouTube saying, hey, I'm going to be back March 1st, and here we are on February 17th, and we're back, so I guess we're back a little bit early. For those new to the channel, I do kind of updates every few months as to be transparent with my fans about what's going on with my channel. Now, there are going to be a few changes happening with said channel now that I'm back. However, we're going to talk about those a little bit later. We're going to lead with a single one of them, which is I'm going to add news to these channel updates just to give everybody a little something that they actually want to listen to these updates. So we're going to be leading today with the reason why I'm back early. So I have recently become very, very, very obsessed with Warhammer 3 Total War. It is a very, very fun strategy game that got a really big update, and I did not want this to come out next month when this update dropped yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. Starting off, we are going to talk about kind of what led up to this. So they said that Total War 3 is Warhammer 3 is 10 years old, which is crazy to me because I remember hearing about it coming out and I was like, "Oh, hey, not really my cup of tea. I'm not a Warhammer fan." But hey, cool for you guys when my friends in Oklahoma were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to play this." And now, A, I'm obsessed with it, and B, I have the knowledge that that was 10 years ago. That's crazy. That being said, as a celebration, Creative Assembly has made a completely new and unique legendary lord for Cathay in the form of a character pack. This character pack is called Bathsheba and the Tiger Warriors, and it is going to be not 14, 4.99 US dollars, and comes with one legendary lord who is anti-infantry, one regular lord who is anti-large, one hero spellcaster, three unique units. They are going to be a dual wield, a hybrid, and an anti-large. A new unique campaign, final battle, and quest battle, as well as apparently some other stuff because they put on there, etc. I'm assuming that just means everything the other lords get, they will also get. Now, there is also going to be some free content that will be coming out with this update, and that is going to be another legendary lord that is anti-large. They did make sure to say that those who don't have anything for Cathay will still get the core Grand Cathay roster so that you're not going to miss out on anything. You don't have to purchase the other Cathay Lords to get the full Cathay experience for this. Now, that being said, I wanted to dive a little bit into these characters. So, starting with Bathsheba, the legendary lord. I want to go through her lore introduction and then a little bit about the gameplay. Going to do the same for the Tiger Warriors and the Claw Speaker, which is the spellcaster. Sorry. All right. So the lore for Bathsheba. As head of the Tiger Court, Bathsheba stands as one of the mighty lords of Shangyang, a mercenary sovereign to whom every Tiger Warrior commander ultimately bends the knee. Though she bears the revered title of White Tiger, hers is only the latest chapter in a legacy far older than her name. The first White Tiger carved her destiny in a heroic fashion, guiding the Highland tribes across the towering mountains of heaven, through blistering western deserts, and into the lands ruled by the Iron Dragon Zhao Ming. There she swore fealty to the Western Master, forging a bond that has endured for centuries. Each new White Tiger rises to the mantle of the last, renewing the ancient oaths and stepping into the legacy older than most kingdoms. No records exist of how many champions have risen. What is certain is this: the white tiger appears whenever the tides of chaos surge. Each time they take up the mantle, they once again lead their people into the heart of the Ever Chosen's armies, driving the tiger warrior straight into the storm. Though through these countless cycles, the white tiger has achieved what few beings of any age can claim: to have stood in battle against both Ashavar Kul and Archaon. So, for the battle gameplay for her, they wanted something a little bit different. So, Cathay generally is a mixed arms army that just, they have a very standard army formation. You form up, move forward, attack, yada, yada, yada. It's very, very bog standard. However, the Tiger Warriors and Bathsheba herself, they are much faster, they are stealthy, and they are very hard hitting. So Bathsheba herself is anti-infantry. So how they kind of say it is she'll ambush infantry units and, she can take them from the side, from behind. But whatever the case may be, she is going to hunt them down and just slaughter them. Now, that is again very different. The other Cathay lords are dragons, so they just kind of so yeah. Now, when it comes to the actual Tiger Warriors, the lore introduction for them is: so who exactly are the Tiger Warriors? Tales say they were shaped by the Old Ones alongside many other races, dwelling primarily in the lands now known as Ind. After chaos swept the world and the Old Ones vanished, the Tiger Warriors were saved by their chieftain Kamu, who defied Tzeentch and overcame the god's schemes through sheer nobility and unwavering loyalty to his people. Following this, the Highland tribes were led by the first White Tiger to fulfill the prophecy of leading them to salvation across the mountains of heaven, into the western deserts and the lands of the Iron Dragon. Here they shaped a life and a legacy on their own terms. Their allegiance to Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon, is absolute, but it exists alongside far older devotion to the White Tiger and their god Kamu. This dual loyalty gives them a culture that sits just slightly outside the rhythms of everyday Cathayan society. They're part of the Empire, certainly, but proudly marked by their own traditions and ways of war. Because of this, their place within the armies of Cathay is a fascinating one. Zhao Ming's forces have always attracted a wide array of mercenary companies, and the Tiger Warriors are a natural presence among them. Their duties are as varied as their heritage: guarding long distance caravans across treacherous routes, holding strategic outposts against whatever the world throws at them, and then, when called upon, marching to support other provinces. Sometimes that's all at the request of the Iron Dragon or his siblings, and sometimes it's because Bathsheba herself demands it. It should come as no surprise that the Tiger Warriors stand implacably against chaos, and they harbor a particular hatred for the schemes of Tzeentch. This enmity is also held for the beastmen herds that have long plagued the mountains and jungles that they once called home. For the Tiger Warriors, these foes aren't just threats to Grand Cathay. They're affronts to the very lands and traditions of their people and that their people have fought to protect for generations. So again, a gameplay aspect of this is they wanted a new way for Cathay to be able to play. So these guys are going to be excellent at ambushes, fast attacks, and they just hit hard. That is going to be the main deal for these guys. Like I said, they're going to have three kind of forms. They're going to have a dual wield, a hybrid, and an anti-large. So there's probably going to be like a shield unit or something. We'll see. We're not sure exactly what they're going to look like, but they are going to be actual tiger people, which is really, really cool. Now, for the final one that they have stuff about is the Claw Speaker. Now, the Claw Speaker is a spellcaster, and I'm going to start with the battle gameplay for this. So, the Claw Speaker is different in Cathay to the others in that Cathay hasn't had like healing and stuff like that. And now with the Claw Speaker, he's fast. He's got Vanguard deployment, so he's going to be able to lead from the front and really get in there. He's going to have Beast Lore spells to be able to blast the enemy units with those, but he's also going to have healing lore spells. So that's going to open up again another playstyle for Cathay to be able to use. They're going to be able to start healing their units, and it's going to be quite awesome in that. Now, for their lore, Tiger Claw Speakers serve as the wizards of the Tiger Warriors, worshipping the old Indish gods, chief among them Kamu the Tiger God. Their magic leans toward the wind of the beast, channeling the raw, untamed strength of the wild. In battle, they can swell the furiosity of their own warriors or summon savage creatures from the mountains of heaven to fight alongside them. Unsurprisingly, faith also runs deep among the Tiger Warriors. Each one of them believes that without Kamu's protection, the Chaos Gods would rise up to enslave their race once more. For the Claw Speakers, that belief is more than tradition. It is a duty they carry into every spell they cast and every battle fought. So, this update sounds like it's going to be awesome. I personally have not gotten any of Cathay's factions yet. Um, they do seem really cool, and I want to, but one of my friends who I play with all the time, Cathay is one of his main factions to use, so I just haven't. I am gonna get these guys. It's $5. Like, this is just good value for $5. Like, it is awesome. I'm super duper excited about it. And I really want to know in the comments what you guys think, because I will say in the comments for their release, there was both positive and negative. A couple of them I think are just really stupid. There was some people that were saying, "Oh, Bashiva doesn't look very feminine. Like she's a big tiger." Like, come on, guys. It's 2026. Let's drop those arguments. She's a giant tiger lady. It's going to be cool. Now, there were other people that had other concerns, which is the fact that with these that are more India inspired, the India inspired factions that Warhammer has probably will never get their own actual faction in Warhammer 3. That is a valid concern. However, if they are looped into Grand Cathay, maybe that would just be good for the whole faction of Grand Cathay. But hey, maybe they will have their own faction because these guys specifically say that they serve Cathay. So there is still a chance, like, this is a fully Creative Assembly created faction. So this is not a end all be all that I think it was called the end factions is what they were saying. I'm new to Warhammer lore, so all of this like a lot of this is new to me. So I think it was called the end factions. That it doesn't mean that those won't show up eventually. They might, and that would be super cool. And I'm really excited to see what Creative Assembly has around the corner. That being said, I did see overwhelmingly positive feedback for this. The price point, the content, the ideas of giving Cathay another play style, all of that is just going to be good for the game, I feel like, and I'm very excited to see what this is going to bring. They said that the release date is probably going to be sometime in the spring, so we're looking maybe March, April, or May. I'm hoping for March because that would be super cool, but we will see. But right when it comes out, I'm going to be jumping on and grabbing this, and you can definitely bet I will be making some content for this. So look for that on the channel when this releases. That being said, that's going to bring us to the state of the arc. So for people, like I said, who are new to the channel, this is where I talk about my channel news. Now, and for people who don't know why it's called the State of the Arc, I started this channel as an ARC channel, and now you'll notice I don't create any ARC content. That is due to the fact that I have big disagreements with the choices of Wildcard and Snail Games. I'm not going to get into that. I'm trying not to be super negative on my channel anymore. I really want to just be very positive. Just know I have disagreements with what they do, so I no longer play Arc. That being said, it is ingrained into my channel at this point. I've got my State of the Arc, which is what I call my channel updates. I have, my tagline, which is keep on surviving, because it was Arc Survival Evolved and Arc Survival Ascended. I call you guys survivors for the same reason. And all of that is very special to me because it was how I began my channel, but also I I've had, as people know, I've had some mental health things in the past, and I do consider myself a survivor. And I hope that the joy I bring by watching me play all these games and stuff, I don't do it well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a great gamer, but I love gaming and I love sharing that with you guys. And, I know a few of my, things have brought a lot of joy to people. Medieval Dynasty, I had a lot of people commenting, again, overwhelmingly positive stuff, which really made my day, and it made me happy that I was able to make yours. Same with my Path of Titans content. I had people who just would watch every single one of my videos, and that just meant the world to me. So I want to thank you guys so much for still staying with me. I'm currently at 212 subscribers, which I honestly didn't think I would get to. Now, we are going to go into some of the changes that I will be making to the channel, though. So I started off thinking I was going to make massive changes, like different name, all that. I might change the name slightly. It will go from Darius Torana Gaming to Darius Torana Studios, just because I may want to make other content in the future that's not just gaming content. So we will that may happen. I haven't fully decided on that yet. That being said, I am opening up the gaming part of it to all games again. I started out that way. That was how I liked it the most. I switched over to only survival games and I got so burnt out. So I'm going to be having all kinds of gaming content. There will be board games, there will be card games, there will be survival games, there will be tactical games, fighting games, adventure games. One of the first things I'm going to be posting is an Elden Ring playthrough I'm doing. It's super duper fun. And so I want to bring you guys along on those journeys with me. Um, and I want to not get burnt out on just playing survival games. That being said, I did have a secondary channel that, I mean, let's get real, it wasn't performing well and I wasn't updating it on the regular. That was called Darius Torana Tactics. That channel is going away. So if you're subscribed to it, you can go ahead and unsubscribe because I'm going to be deleting the channel. Everything from there is going to be posted to my main channel. So that's where we're going to be at there. I will be doing some new collabs. There is a new creator who is named Darkspring. You guys have actually seen him a couple of times on some of my other stuff, but he was not a creator back then. He was just my buddy Darkspring. Now, however, he is going to be creating his own channel. So definitely go over and give him some love. Um, that being said, he and I are collabing on some Warhammer content, as well as I will have a second channel where he and I will be doing a podcast together. It's going to be called Two Fools Studios. And so definitely go check that out. We will be uploading our first videos on the 28th. Um, and you will get to listen to us talk about a couple different games. We've got Skyrim, we've got Warhammer 3, and then you'll also get a little bit more backstory for both of us. The other thing, though, is the podcast itself is called Two Fools Making It because, again, like I said, I'm wanting to focus on being more positive, and I want my content to be able to help other people. So we will also have a secondary focus on mental health, which is very important to both Darkspring and I. That is going to bring an end to our episode today. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please slap a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what kind of content you would like to see on the channel.